So today I would like to dive into a topic about how to onboard the next million consumer apps. So before we enter the metrics, let me first introduce myself. So I'm Hanzhi, I'm the co-founder at Nubit, and I'm also the PhD student at UCSB, University of California, Santa Barbara, and where I'm working at the PL, like compilers and Web3 security. And before we dive into our solution, let's first motivate the problem. So what problem do we want to solve? Actually, like if you look at today's Web3 infrastructures, there are like a lot of layer ones, like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, like Solana. And based on that, we have a lot of crypto assets. And to reuse these assets to secure different blockchains, we have different risk-taking protocols. And on top of that, we have layers upon layers of protocols and eventually serve the protocols like layer 2 and layer 3. So what's the missing part? At this point, you might be wondering, what do we need exactly? So currently there are also there are a lot of infrastructures being built. We also notice that the entire industry is suffer from the lack of traction. And when I say traction, I mean we need more consumer engagements. So also there are a lot of Web2 developers. They are building awesome applications. But when they are trying to enter Web3, they encounter significant barriers. So which I will elaborate on in the next few slides. And so before we dive into how we solve it in Web3, we can learn from the agent of the past. Let's take a look at how Web2 achieved mass adoption. So here is an example of WeChat. WeChat is it's one of the most powerful platforms in China, originally in China. So it is powerful not just because it provides social features, also with over 1 billion users, but it also provides payment system and storage solutions through Tencent Cloud. And all these modules are encapsulated into a single, easy-to-use developer platform called Weixin DevTools. And this is the most important part because the developers can build their applications on top of WeChat without worrying about the underlying complexities of storage or payments. And now the question becomes, can we mimic a similar approach in Web3? The answer is yes. Luckily, we have a similar platform called Telegram, and the Telegram has a user base as large as WeChat. And it also provides social features like chats and stories and mini apps. But there are a lot of missing pieces still. So we need payment system, we need blockchain management, and we need storage solutions. And more importantly, we need to wrap up all these modules in a way that developers can easily launch their own applications in Web3. So which we call DKIT. We want to encapsulate all these modules in a platform that developers can launch their own applications without worrying about the complexities of blockchain. So, but it is not easy. So Web2 to Web3 is hard. And if you we can think about it from the perspective of Web2 developers. When they want to move their application from Web2 to Web3, they have a lot to worry about. They need to worry about they need to learn the basically smart contracts, right? They need to get familiar with the blockchain. They need to even if they set off everything, they need to worry about security because we are talking about the billions of assets, and a tiny mistake in your protocol could lead to the complete loss. So basically, there are a lot of issues we need to solve. And here I want to highlight 3 key ingredients that can potentially solve this issue. The first key ingredient is the unified wallet. So if you take a look at the current landscape of wallets, there are a lot of wallets, but actually there's no wallet that satisfy all these 4 criteria. So the wallet is the gateway for Web2 users to enter Web3. It should natively support multiple blockchains. Because users don't want to switch the wallet every time they want to engage in a new blockchain ecosystem. And it should natively support social login. So the Web2 users can manage their crypto assets through their Web2 accounts, such as Telegram, such as Gmail. And it should support on-ramp and off-ramp. So the users can basically withdraw and deposit assets at any time. And the most importantly, this wallet should be natively integrated with Telegram. So they don't need to download another application, so they can do all the operations within the Telegram platform. Otherwise, the user experience will suffer. And the second key ingredient is that we want to empower users and developers with their own mini chain. So if you take a look at today's architecture, so all the applications and all the users are deployed on the same blockchain. And so they are shared the same amount of storage, same amount of computation. And actually, it doesn't make a lot of sense, right? So because the need for a gaming application is going to be very different from the need for AI application. So what we are trying to do is to empower developers to launch their own mini chain and basically can become their own landlord of their own chain. And their users can basically own some of the share of their mini chains ecosystem. So the developers can directly get revenues from their user base. And here's the third ingredient. You might be wondering, I have mentioned there are layers upon layers of protocols. And won't this mini chain architecture just lead to more fragmentation? The answer is we can solve this through this universal bridge. So this universal bridge is going to facilitate the cross-chain transactions, such as message passing, such as assets transfer. And to further optimize this process, let's say if you have several applications, such as gaming app, such as AI engine, such as Tradebot, even prediction market, you can basically, if their users want to use another app, they can communicate through this shared DA layer. So all the mini chains launching in the matrix architecture will share or natively share the same data availability layer, which is Nubit. So these mini chains, these applications can communicate within this DA layer natively, and it is much more efficient than the universal bridge. And let's zoom out a little bit, and here's the whole architecture. We can take a look from the perspective of a Web2 developer. What do they see? So at the top, there's Telegram and their own applications. And there are also, at the bottom, there are also blockchains and also layer ones. What Nubit provides is a way to launch their own, help developers to launch their own mini chains in a seamless way. So they don't need to worry about the complexities of blockchain. They only need to tell which layer one you want to settle on, which layer two stack you want to use. So here's the whole architecture. And here I want to dive a little bit into the technical details. So the first one is the universal bridge. So how do we solve this issue regarding the multiple mini chains? So if you are familiar with the traditional layer 2 stack or layer 2 architecture, you will notice that each application or each layer 2, say, natively has its own sequencer. And what happens if you want to facilitate a cross-chain transaction involve multiple blockchains, right? It suffers. So basically, we want, in our architecture, each application will share the same shared sequencer. So if they want to transfer the assets between each mini chains, or they want to share the message between different mini chains, they can directly communicate through this shared sequencer. And it would be much easier if you want to facilitate the atomic execution across different mini chains. And the second part is our DA layer. So our DA layer is the core part. So it's the core idea behind the whole the matrix architecture. So it involves three key ingredients. The first one is the validator. So in our DA layer, this validator is secured by Bitcoin, thanks to the Babylon protocol. And we also involve implement the innovative high performance consensus algorithm to achieve the same level of censorship resistance of Bitcoin. And as for DA layer, so we also have the storage part, right? So the full storage node, basically it's a full storage replica of all the data published to Nubit. And we also have line node that provides services for some applications. They don't want to launch their own full storage node, so they can use this line node, which perform DA sampling with the full storage node and validators. And all this DA layer is secured by Bitcoin, with the Bitcoin's economic security. And here's the third part. And the third part is the DKIT. That's where the things get familiar with the Web2 developers. So if you are familiar with the Web2 development, you actually can notice that it's a very popular design pattern in Web2, the MVC pattern. So the MVC here, the view here represents the user interface, such as mini app, such as H5 front end. And the module here typically is stored on some storage layer, such as Tencent Cloud. And in our Web3 version, it is published through our DA layer. And the controller here is the core business logic of your application. So if a Web2 developer wants to move their application from Web2 to Web3, all they need to add is a tiny module, which is basically the ledger. So they only need to worry about how to manage this ledger and access the account in Web3. So it's just only a little change in the original Web2 development. So it can make it very easy for Web2 developers to enter Web3. And so how do Nubit fit into this whole architecture? Basically, we can help developers to launch this vertical architecture in a easiest way. So they only need to tell us what they want, which layer ones they want to choose, which layer 2 stacks they want to use, and all the issues is handled by us. So basically, we solve the user experience issue with this unified wallet, and we solve the liquidity and message fragmentation problem through this universal bridge and Nubit DA layer. And all this architecture can benefit the Web2 developers to enter Web3. So where we are right now. So currently, we have launched this whole architecture 2 weeks ago, and there are several Telegram mini apps being launched based on this architecture, and including the gaming app, including the AI agent, including the prediction market. And we also partner with Tomo Wallet to launch the first unified wallet. And as for the layer 2 stacks, our DA layer and the matrix architecture is being integrated with all major layer 2 stack. So you can launch whatever you want. Basically, Optimism, Arbitrum, Polygon CDK, you tell me. And it can be settled on Ethereum or Tom. So it's basically super powerful. And currently we have gained 6,000 active users across different applications, and generating over 200,000 transactions across multiple mini chains. And I would like to conclude this keynote with this quote. So let's say you have built a lot of roads, but there's nobody lives there to use them. Is that valuable? Not yet. Then you build a lot of houses, but nobody wants to live there because there's no jobs or no other people. Is that valuable? Not yet. Then you build a lot of factories. Now there are jobs. There are goods to trade. People can move there. All the infrastructure from the first 2 steps becomes valuable. But before that, it was just potential value. So which one is the valuable part? All of them together are valuable, but missing one ingredient makes everything useless. So at Nubit, we would like to launch these missing pieces for developers to enter Web3. And we think to onboard the next billion users, we need to first onboard the next million developers. And that's how we fit into this whole vision. Thank you.